keeping a bit late on these, and it is what it is. Who's here? I could not sleep last night. My sleep schedule has gotten so whacked. I'll like go to bed at midnight and then sleep for an hour and then be up for 3 hours and then sleep till like 10. It's a thing. Justin's here. Hi. Too much, yeah, too much fun. Kind of. Hi, Venom. Hi, Valid. Hi, Fatal. Hi, Martin. Martin, the level 10 wizard version 2? Is that what, version 2? Hi, Jason. You made it again. Hi, I'm so glad everyone's here. I'm so happy to see your little names popping up on my screen. Your old account got version 1, rest in peace. Version 2 is better, right? You came back with upgrades, right? I know you did. I know you did. Is level 10 like the highest level? Is there a level 11? Yeah, it's nice to see you. Right? Version 2 is always better. I mean, it's not always better. But for you, it's always better. I'm like version 13 at this point, I think. Maybe more. 27. If I was an iPhone, they'd be sick of the updates. They'd be like, okay, you don't need to like release a new one every 3 months. But you do. That's good. I've been good. I'm saying that with a like, but I have been. I don't know how to describe it. I've been good in that I've decided to be good. If that makes sense. Like, so regardless of how I'm feeling, and it's not that I'm like pushing the little feelings down or judging the little feelings. The little feelings are there. They're there. They're allowed to exist. They're like, hey, we're here. But I'm like, no, this is what we're doing right now. So I've been really good. Yeah, right? Thank you so much, Reap. Did people used to do this? I feel like in the past, people have very much like one solid identity that they had from like the age of 5 till 75. And now it just seems like I don't even know what a person is anymore. You had a spring in your step. That's cute. I'm glad. May all your days have springs to your steps. Keep moving forward. Yeah. My dog is probably gonna bark because I just fed her. See? And I don't know if anyone else is gonna, I don't know. She's gonna bark. So I might have to put her out. Fatal. You guys like the music, huh? You like the music for 5? That was so many years ago. How are you still, I don't know, it had an effect. Who wrote the music? That's what I want to know. I am having a swell day. It is swell. where am I from? I'm from Canada. My dog's name is Peepa. I didn't name her. But it's a name. Why do I always say that? I'm like a little bit like, it's a weird name. But it suits her. Dan Romer. What else has he done? Let's all send fan mail to Dan, because he really did his job, didn't he? Dan Romer. That's a good name. Yeah. I think I might just like, wait, am I gonna deal with the dog? Maybe she'll just be good. Let's decide she's gonna be good. She's gonna be a peaceful little pup. She has lots of toys. She has so many toys. She has a treasure trove of toys at her disposal to squeak anytime she wants. Does she do it? No. Oh, Indonesia. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not gonna try. But where is that? Indonesia. I thought of doing that. The thing is, it would just be her show. But yeah, she would steal it. She's very, very cute. She's very cute, and I only caught on that she was cute because other people said she was cute, and I was like, oh, I guess she's cute. Who knew? See, she hears us talking about her. Okay. Yes, thank you. Can you guys bear with me? I will do the fastest dog removal process I possibly can. Okay. I almost got a cat. I keep thinking of getting a cat. There was a cat named Nessa, and she was black and orange and white, and there was like a picture of her with like scrunchy face. But why am I so hesitant to get a cat? You keep mistyping. Okay, now that the dog is attended to, all is well. I think I'm just gonna launch into like what I wanted to talk about. And I didn't have like a topic until like late. I didn't even have one last night. I was like, oh, that's not good. Maybe that's why I didn't sleep. But this popped into my brain, probably fittingly. And it's something that I've been really guilty of not applying to my own life. And I know why. Like, first of all, I guess I want to address like why we don't make decisions. Also, I hadn't even thought of this, but as I was typing in the title of the video, because I'm in Quebec, it'll like autocorrect it to French. And as some of you may know, decide is also like décider, which means dead. And I know like the root of the word, this is like an etymology lesson, but I love etymology. Decide means like to cut off. So there's a death in decision. That's why we don't do it. There's a death, or there's like a perceived death. And we're very afraid of that. It's very scary, obviously. So why don't we make decisions? And I mean, like, we do, but I don't know, like, why do they scare us? What are we afraid of? What is like stopping us from making decisions? And often it's that like we think we're losing something. We think that like while staying in this limbo state of like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, we think maybe like something else will come in and decide for us, right? Like, it's very appealing, actually. Even like worst case scenario, it can be very appealing that something else comes in and just makes the decision, because then it's not our fault. Then we're not to blame for the outcome. Then we're not responsible. Then we can just like react and just like be kind of in survival mode. We can be we can be like little soldiers on the ground responding to whatever decisions someone else made. And I would also say that like most of us have been very programmed into thinking that we don't get a say, that we're powerless, that this is just the way things are, that other people with more authority, they know better, and that we should listen to them and we should give up control. Like, control is this bad taboo word that we shouldn't have, we shouldn't need. We shouldn't like need to be in control. We should just let loose and let things happen and let things flow. And I'm not against that. I think sometimes like some really beautiful things come in. But I actually would suggest that, at least for me, the beautiful things come in when like you decide they will, and you decide to let them in. You decide to let them have a say. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're actually in control. And one of the things that I think we forget about decision is that it comes with such an intense feeling of freedom, because all of a sudden there's nothing left to do. There's not like this deliberation process. There's not this limbo state is actually like really, really painful, and trying to do things right, this like trying energy, this like maybe hoping, what do I have to, this like trying to figure it out, this kind of fretful energy is really, really exhausting, really disempowering. And I would say most people live in that, at least at some point during their day, as opposed to a kind of energy that's like, this is what is going to happen, or this is how I am going to handle this situation, or this is how I'm going to show up in this situation, this is how I'm going to show up at this meeting, or for this job, or in this relationship, or at this date, or whatever it is. And there's so much freedom and release from that, where you're just like, no, you know what, I do actually have a say here. I do actually have agency and power over my own self, my own state, my own being, my own day, my own mind, my own body. I actually do have a say. I'm actually in charge. And maybe that's responsibility for what comes next, but there's a relief that comes with it, because it's like, okay, now we know what the directive is, and we're not like looking for the cavalry that is supposed to be here, because we're obviously not in charge, like we're obviously not capable. It's like a deep sense of, I think it really does come down to like this deep sense of like lack of faith in yourself, that makes you not want to decide, because you're so afraid of deciding wrong. Like, it's a few things, but you're so afraid of deciding wrong, of making a decision that is the wrong one, and then being stuck with that mess and looking foolish, looking stupid, looking bad, looking, like people being angry at you, being angry at yourself. You're so afraid that you're going to make the wrong decision, you're going to choose wrong, and it's not going to work out. But that in and of itself is like another decision that first of all, you're like foretelling into the future how you're going to feel about yourself should things not go perfectly. Should there be a little bit of like surprise to your decision, you're already deciding like how you're going to feel. You're in control of how you feel. You're in control of like of what you do with the feelings, and Like, if you make a decision and it turns out not the way you wanted, you have a choice whether you're going to be kind to yourself, whether you're going to learn from that decision, whether it's going to be for your greatest good or not. Like, you're forgetting that down the road, you still have agency. You still decide, no, you know what, this was the right decision, and you keep deciding that it's the right decision, whether you change course or not. Having made the decision was right to do at that moment in time, and you're going to trust yourself. And you're going to trust yourself not from a place of like, because you're trustworthy, because like you should, because you're going to trust yourself. You're going to make yourself someone who is trustworthy, who deserves that trust, who lives up to that sense of trust. You're going to build yourself up by the way that you treat yourself and the way that like you refer to yourself. You know, like leaders, they become leaders because people look to them to lead and they fill in that position. That's how they're leaders. Otherwise, they're just a guy walking to Mordor. I don't know. They're nothing without someone going, hey, you're in charge. So what if you do that with yourself? If you say like, you know what, I actually am in charge of this life. By the way, it's actually me doing all of this. It's me making choices day to day. I actually am making choices. And actually I've made some pretty good choices, and maybe if I just like lean in more to the fact that maybe I am good at this, maybe I actually am good at life, maybe I do make good choices, maybe I do know what I am doing, and if I don't, I change course, or I adjust, or I learn, or I grow. Maybe I'm actually doing things pretty, like maybe it's all going actually pretty okay. And I can like improve, of course, but maybe I do kind of know what I'm doing, or at least as much as the next guy. Maybe I'm just as capable as the next guy, as that guy who seems to make decisions like da 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 da. Maybe the more I trust myself, like I find that this works in relationship. If you think of someone in your life that you like continuously, you're like, I trust you. And you have this like firm belief. Oh my God, when someone gives that to you, it is such a gift, because you're like, this person actually sees something in me that they're willing to bet on. Are you willing to bet on yourself? Because the more that you actually do that, the more that you'll have this sense that maybe I'm worth betting on. It works like the opposite way that you think. It's not like, I have to prove myself and then they will bet on me. No, you treat yourself first. You believe in yourself first as someone who is worthy of betting on, and you live up to that. You fill in that position, and it becomes more and more and more real and true and obvious, and you don't even think about it anymore. Now you're just operating as this person who is trustworthy. So make decisions about your life, and it can be about the friggin' like minutia, but when you make decisions about what you like, what you don't like, who you're gonna be this morning, not like, we'll see how I feel. Maybe if I feel good, maybe it'll go okay. Maybe if someone's nice to me today, I'll be in a good mood and I'll get some work done, or like I'll like myself. Maybe if someone compliments me, I'll feel good about myself. If no one compliments me, I won't. Maybe if like I wake up and my skin is looking really amazing, then I'll feel good about myself. But if it's not, maybe I'll just hide in my room all day or something. We give these like conditions, we give our power away, and it makes us feel like kind of safe, like there's nothing on the line. Oh, it didn't work out. Well, it wasn't my fault. Like, I was open to that possibility of it not working out. Aren't I supposed to be doing that? So it's not my fault. These things happen. I'll just continue existing like this. But we forget that, like, it feels so good to decide. It feels so good to have agency. It feels so good to be in charge. Like, power, I don't know if I'm like the only one who's ever felt this. I said this to a friend that I was like, I have this thing, I've always had this thing around power, that power is a bad thing. And he was like, that's really weird. But I don't think I'm the only one who believes this. And like, there's lots of messaging out there and like stories or books or just like the media, sorry, certain words, the media, that power is this awful thing and people that want power are awful beings and it's gonna corrupt and it's gonna, like, power feels good. Like, we want it for a reason. And often, by the way, when we're like craving it, it's because we're coming from like such a sense of disempowerment. When we like abuse it, it's because we don't feel powerful. So giving that to yourself, that like, I am doing this, like this life, I am the one living it. I am in the driver's seat. I get to decide. I have the privilege of having a body and a mind and like friendships and people and a world to interact with, and I get to decide how I live moment to moment. Like, that should be exciting. That should be exciting. You guys like video games. Like, how would it be to play a video game where like, okay, I'll just stand here in a field and maybe maybe someone will come along and tell I don't know. I can't choose the gun that I want to shoot with. Maybe someone will tell me this is too much. There's too many. What if I choose the wrong gun and then the zombies don't die or whatever? I always I don't know what game this is. But like, isn't it great to have choices? Isn't it great to have choices and then move forward with a choice and be bold enough to say, this is what I want. This is what's happening. And I'm not going to deviate. I'm going to keep choosing this and I'm going to see what happens. Like, it's so easy for someone to come along and like kind of nudge you on your decision and you go, ugh, I guess it was a bad one. I'm so sorry. I'm so ashamed that I thought maybe this was good. Just decide, just like put your friggin' foot in the ground and say, this is what it is. This is what it is. Why does that person know more than you? Why do these circumstances know more than you? Just because something might be showing up a certain way doesn't mean your decision was wrong. Okay, like you guys all know about like the reticular activating system, the RAS, and it's this part of your brain that its job is to filter out everything that doesn't comply with your biases. So you see the world a certain way, you see yourself a certain way, you see other people a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And now there's like 10 trillion data points to any possible moment that you could pay attention to, and your RAS is going to go like, okay, but what do we believe? Cool, we'll zone in on those things. Those are the important things that we're going to pay attention to at this moment in time. So if you decide something new, okay, in the moment you decide something new, maybe about yourself, maybe about the way things work for you, maybe about your career, maybe about like your talent or your skills or your personality or your love life or something, okay? It makes sense that you still have like this program that's like, but this, we're still searching for this, right? We're still like activated when this shows up, right? And it might take some time for it to be like, oh, okay, we're looking at different things now. That might take some time. It might take some time for like that subconscious part of you to be like, right, we want to see different things on the horizon. We want to pick up different data points. We didn't know that. But unless you're firm in your decision, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess she wasn't serious about that. I guess we're gonna keep doing this because we're really good at this now. We're really good. Like, you have to be the one out in front, and you have to be responsible. You have to be responsible. But this is a great, great, great thing. I think, like, people who step into that, know that, experience that as much as it comes with a certain amount of stakes, I guess, there is so much more freedom out there. There is so much more just like air and space when you're like, I get to decide. I'm in charge. I'm here. I'm the one who has a say. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And therefore, if I'm doing it, like, I can adjust. I can continue to make moves. I also just want to say, like, I'm thinking about, who is it? There's a filmmaker I really liked. What happened to them? They were like brothers. Not the Coen brothers. Maybe I'll think of it. I was like really into his films for a while, and he was very much like a self-starter, like believed in making your own work. And he had this like speech at South by or something, and he's like, the cavalry is not coming. Which I hate that expression, but he was just talking about filmmaking. He's like, you know, a lot of people are like, maybe someone will see that someone will see that I'm talented and will just give me an opportunity, and then I'll be off to the races. Someone will see that I have worth, and then I'll have worth. He was like, but referring to filmmaking, he's like, the cavalry is not coming. Like, you have to decide. And I don't, so to that, I've thought about that so many times, and I hate it. I hate it because it feels so hopeless, or at least the way I took it was like, so I'm alone, like, so I have to do this all myself. No, honey, you don't have to do it yourself. But because you also get to decide how it goes. Like, you also get to decide that people will show up at the right time, that the people that you need will show up and be exactly what you need, that you'll find your people, that like the right opportunities will come to you, that you'll find the stories, that like, even if any of you are creatives, I think a lot of you are, that like the ideas will come if you decide they will. That like, you know what? I have millions of ideas. There's no limit to the amount of ideas that come to me. That if I sit down to write and I decide like, we're gonna write and it's gonna be good, I'm going to like, at the end of this session, I'm going to like what I've written. I'm going to feel good at the end of this session. Like, put yourself into the future and like, I will have written 1,000 words and I will like it because I'm deciding right now that I'm going to feel good about my work and about the ideas. I'm going to pursue them. I'm going to be excited about them. I'm going to give life, and I'm going to validate them. You have all of that. So it's like the cavalry ain't coming, because the cavalry actually isn't like the solution. Like, the cavalry is part of your solution. The cavalry, like, it belongs to you. You're still like, you're the main character out here. They need you. Everyone needs you. Everything and everyone needs you. What if that was true? What if everyone is desperately, desperately in need of you, and you're the solution to anything? And all you have to do is decide this, we're doing this, and just keep going, and just keep putting faith in yourself and learn from your mistakes. It's okay if you make mistakes. It just means that you didn't see something. You didn't know something. You didn't know what you didn't know. And now that you made a decision that allowed you to move forward, you discovered something that you didn't know. And now you are better for it. But if you hadn't made that decision, you'd just be where you are. Like, being stuck, I think is one of the worst feelings in the world. Being uncertain, being unsure, trying energy, trying to be good, trying to do the right thing is like the most draining states I can think of. And I say that at like having lived in it most of my life. And we think we're doing the right thing because we think it's like coming from this really like conscientious place. It's not the right thing. It's not benefiting anyone. You're just trying to protect your ass. And I understand your ass wants to be protected. I understand, protect that. But when you move forward, it's not like you have to move forward and completely abandon yourself. It's not like you have to do the scary thing and abandon yourself and not be there for yourself. You do the scary thing, like holding your own hand and deciding like we're gonna be brave and we're going to actually like control our feelings. Not control our feelings, but you know what, like ride them. And we're gonna be there for ourselves, and we're gonna validate ourselves, and we're gonna believe in ourselves, and we're gonna trust ourselves. And we're going to know that the things that we want in life, we want them for a reason. We want them because we know that we could actually accomplish it. That it would actually be right for us to accomplish it. That like, that is what we're supposed to do. That we want it for a reason. That we're supposed to step forward boldly. And if there's something that inspires you, if there's something that is calling to you, if there's something that is begging for a decision, and it just seems obvious, like, this thing wants me to respond yes or no. This thing wants me. You're allowed to decide no, by the way. There is freedom in that too. You're allowed to say no, not today. But then know that for every no, you are making a decision, and be bold in that decision. Like, no, I'm not going to do that right now. Will I do it ever? You can create friggin' timelines for yourself, you know? You can say in a year. You can put things off. I'm fine with that. You should be fine with that. You can make a calendar, you know what I mean? Or you can say, I'm not going to do this instead, because you are deciding like, it might even be, I'm going to continue to do this thing. I'm going to continue to be this person. But then decide that. Like, and be firm and be strong. Because the only reason that you wouldn't be is because like you're like, well, I don't know if this is the right, I don't know. I think someone might be really angry at me. Someone might really be judging my decision right now. No one's judging anything. They don't know. They're just looking. They don't care. They don't care what choices you make. They're just going off the way that they live their own life and what they think is possible, and they don't know. They don't know. So many people are so limited. Don't go up, like, don't live your life based off other people's limitations and their limited view of you. Don't do that. So for all of you, I just hope that, I'm not gonna hope. I want you to see that there are choices that you are putting off, that you are hoping that someone else will make for you. That's not actually what you want. You don't want someone else deciding. That's not actually what you want. You want to look back at a choice you made and be proud and impressed at that person who just cut off from the old in that moment. Most people, when you hear there's like most like successful people, whatever that means, when they talk about like moments of change, it's all about one decision they made. And I know that that's available to me at any time. Like, it kind of scares me because I'm like, a decision, but then I have to stick with it. Yeah, But again, there's so much freedom in that. Because now I get to be in this state of just knowing, of certainty. Not like I don't have to be, everything is gonna work. I mean, like, yes, put that. I don't have to know how it's gonna work out. But there's this freedom that, like, I have decided and I'm not going back on it. I am married to this choice. I am committed to this choice. I'm committed. I'm all in. And everything else that wants to, like, scrape me back, sorry, I decided. And it might not be easy, but it's simple. It's simple and it's clear. And I would prefer, like, the challenge of putting, like, that doubt, putting that aside as often as needs be. I would prefer that challenge of sticking true to what I decide than the constant effort and fatigue that comes with, like, trying to figure it out, trying to do the right thing, and trying that energy. We're killing off that energy. We're not doing that anymore. We're gonna let life be really clear and we're gonna be out in front of it. That's a life you wanna live. Isn't that a life you wanna live? Where you make choices and you're responsible for all of it? That you did it? That, like, yeah, those mistakes, you really did that. Yeah, you did that. You were the one living. Yeah, that was you. Okay. How are you guys doing? It's pressuring too. Yeah, I've been thinking about pressure, but I feel like we have again, pressure is like pressure isn't really a problem if we don't think we're gonna fail. I don't know how else to put that. Like, pressure can be just like, hey, there's no other options. Like, I do think something happens, I don't have kids, but people with kids say that actually having kids can be like relieving, because suddenly you have a reason, you have a why, you have something that needs you at the end of the day, and so you don't have time to doubt. Like, so many people are trying to keep their fear alive, like, while going forward. Like, yeah, but I have all this doubt. Like, what if you didn't have room for that? We don't get to bring that with us. Like, sorry, that doesn't fit into the backpack. Like, we don't have that option. We don't get to do that. Wouldn't that actually be a nice thing if you don't have room for the fear and the self-deprecation and the self-hate and the self-loathing and the, like, sorry, like, we can't take that with us because we have stuff to do. And whenever that tries to, like, rear its head, it's like, yeah, but I decided I'm doing this and I can't do this while I'm attending to that over there, so sorry, I'm not letting you pass the gates. Yeah. I understand that, like, I'm someone who's blown up my life a few times because I couldn't make decisions. And by the way, like, decisions don't have to be, like, actions. Like, take action. It can very much be, like, a state of mind, or just, like, something you decide about a belief, or, like, who you are from now on. Doesn't have to be an action. But yeah, I'm someone who has like blown up my life because like there from the ashes, like I had no other choice. And I'm very much someone who performs well under pressure, or like not under pressure, but like in a crisis. I'm really good in a crisis because there's like, again, there's no room. So I can just move forward, and it actually, in a really like weird kind of gross way, it feels really good and it feels really empowering. Like one of my favorite stories, I don't even know if it's a story, but I was driving through a snowstorm in like, where the hell were we? Denver or something? And the weather conditions were really, really bad, but I decided I wanted to drive, and I hadn't driven in that kind of snow before. And like we skidded on some ice, and there was a truck barreling down on us, and we rotated 4 times as this truck is like pressing on the horn. And I remember just being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I like turned into the skid, and I just like, I didn't have room to think, right? I turned into the skid. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I let the car spin out like that, and somehow I managed to get us onto like the side of the road, and the truck passed us. And then of course it hits you later. And as scary as that moment was, it was like one of my favorite moments in my entire life. Like I really do feel that, because I felt so, like I felt so proud of myself. I felt like, oh, I actually like, when my instincts take over, they know what to do. Like I know what to do. I can take care of myself. I actually know how to do this. I'm okay. I'm capable. I don't want to have to put myself into those situations to discover that, and I shouldn't have to, but that actually, that space does exist for me. And so like, I don't have to put myself into that space. I could like live every ordinary moment that doesn't have that pressure raining down on me, that doesn't have like an ultimatum or like a TikTok. I could live every moment like, hey, step up. You would have trauma from that experience. Hey, Soul Reaper. Joseph Seed is alive. I don't know what that means. Your birthday's in a couple weeks. How's everything with me? It's good. My sleep schedule is off, but I'm gonna change that starting Monday. My birthday's in July. I'm a Cancer. Read any interesting books? I'm reading Throne of Glass right now. I said that like, I'm having, like, I'm at Empire of Storms. I don't know. Why am I having a hard time? I don't know. I have like some things to talk about. If any of you actually know the Throne of Glass, this is probably like, I have some things to talk about that I'm like not happy about. Throne of Glass was supposed to be better than ACOTAR, and I have some things. Anyway, but it's good. And then, yeah, but I think I need to like, I've been doing fantasy for a long time. I think I need to like read some, I don't know. If you guys have book recommendations. Like one of my favorite books I've read this year was My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Something like that. No, it's not December. you want to get into reading, but you can't seem to focus. Yeah. You just gotta read the right book. And then it gets you in. And you gotta like love the vibe of reading. You know what I mean? Like being like a reading girly or like a reading person. You gotta like lean into that. I also really like to put on, like, make a mood. I like to like put on the ambient music and like, you know, it's just such a thing. It's so cozy. Does it feel like time is flying? Yeah, it does. Listening to audiobooks. I can't listen to an audiobook, okay, because I don't know what to do with my body. This is a weird problem to have, but no one's ever mentioned this before. I brought this up with my sister and she looked at me like I was crazy. But I was like, I feel like when I put on an audiobook, I should be like doing something, like cleaning my house or something, or going for a run. I should be doing something else because my whole body is free. It's just my ears that are occupied and my mind. But if I do the other things, I'm not really listening. And I miss stuff. And I'm like, wait, what happened? And I don't want to go back. So I don't go back. So I just like get pieces of the story. But then if I just like sit in a chair and I just listen, that feels weird too. Everything just feels weird about an audiobook experience. And also if the narrator if I don't like them, it just ruins it for me. If I don't like the narrator, and like that person might be a great person, but I don't like how you did that character's voice. I don't like it. And now I can't hear them any other way. I have this issue with like Emily Henry books. Because for some reason I've only ever listened to her books as audiobooks. And I don't like how she does male voices, that narrator. And so I don't end up liking the male characters, and the whole point of reading a romance novel is to like the male characters, at least like for me. So I need to stop listening to Emily Henry. The narrator is everything. When the narrator is good, oh, those people. Am I still writing music? Guys, I actually started writing music last night again. It's been so long. I did. So yeah. I started something. I need to just get out of this mind space that it's hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. You just need a freaking chord progression, and you just loop that, and the ideas come. Did I sing to you last year or something? Where did you sleep last night? Who sings that? Yeah, it felt really good. I feel like I have a method for moving forward, so I'm gonna do that today. And I think I just need to dedicate time every day. I've been like doing a lot of covers and playing a lot of piano and getting really good at accompanying myself. So that's something, but I just want to dedicate time every day to like writing original music, even if it's just playing around. And I also I'm so rusty on the guitar right now, and I need to trim my nails. So I want to get back to guitar a little bit. I've considered becoming a therapist. Have I considered? For a while I used to think like that was my destiny. I'm sure I could do it. I don't know that I have the interest to become a traditional therapist. But there's lots of different ways of talking to people, and I would only want to do something that's like the most effective, because I don't want anyone wasting their time. Like, I just don't think you actually need, I don't think the system of it works very well. Like, it doesn't seem to make sense to me. Again, I think often we go into therapy thinking like, oh, that person is able to see everything about me immediately. and therefore they know all the answers to my problems, and they're just like letting me spew whatever comes to my mind, waiting for me to get it. And I don't know why we decided that was the process. So I feel like it could be a lot shorter. I think ultimately, like, a lot of people just like having someone to talk to, like that like friendship aspect, that like someone's on my side, someone's there to validate me, someone's there to remind me to like go easy on myself. And I understand that. That's like, of course we want that. But I don't know if that's a therapist. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that should be its own thing, and maybe like we should take the stigma out of that. Like, I don't know. I found my guitar. It stretches back decades. Wait, what? Oh, that'd be fun. I mean, we'll see. Maybe, okay, I'm gonna make a deal. I will write a song this week. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna perform it, but I will write a song this week. So you guys hold me accountable to that. Like, complete. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like produced, but complete. Verse, chorus, verse, or whatever it ends up being. Okay, is there anything else to talk about, or should this live stream end? Oh, can you, Jamal? Yo, Jamal, if anyone wants to be a mod, let me know. So Jamal, if you want to be, that would be great. That would be really helpful. Yeah, if any of you guys want to contribute in any way, I'm so appreciative. So reach out to me. I don't want to like put that on anyone. But if you want that responsibility, dude, I'll love you forever. Yeah, and like always, if you have anything you want me to talk about, I really enjoy getting your ideas or anything that like you're actually going through. It gives me like impetus. But yeah, I like this being a two-way street. Okay, I guess no one has anything else. All right, I'm gonna get on with my day. I have stuff to do. But I love you guys so, so much. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.